So someone asked me about which visa is the best visa to choose for bringing someone here to the United States from Madagascar. And I am assuming it will apply to any other country, but keep in mind, in each, depending on the popularity of the country, where people try to migrate to the United States more frequently than say in Madagascar, for instance, sometimes the waiting period after you do all the paperwork to get the interview can take another 10, 12, 15 months in some cases. And my lawyer informed me of that. That's how I'm taking her word for it when she told me, don't be surprised if it takes a long time for your fiance or my fiance at the time to get that interview. Fortunately, it's Madagascar, so it was fast. But someone at the Malagasy embassy told me to get the K1 visa. That'll be the fastest way to get my wife here, rather than marrying her in Madagascar and then filing to bring her as a spouse to the United States. So I didn't bother with that one. But with the pandemic, from what I understand, the processing time is about the same for the applications, the K1 visa or the spousal visa. The process is the same, about the same time. But the problem comes with going into the second step, from what I understand. In my case, I didn't have that problem. I stuck with a K1. During the time while I had the first K1 visa being processed, where I did it out of order and I got rejected, my fiance at the time tried to get a tourist visa to come here twice, and she was rejected both times. And I got her like a couple of properties there to make it look like she had no intentions of leaving Madagascar, and she returned, but she was still rejected. In hindsight, I wouldn't have done that again, but that's in 2020, and there wasn't a lot of money. I don't mind losing it. I consider it a loss anyway. So that is what it is. So that was my personal experience. The tourist visa failed miserably both times, but the K1 visa succeeded when I filed it the second time in order, and my fiance was able to arrive here very, very quickly. Once the first step was done, whenever everything got approved and I had to send everything to the NVC and send everything, the lawyer actually handled the situation after I hired her, because I had problems with the getting certain things done, and it was a minor thing. I wasn't notarizing any of my stuff, which created a problem for what I was doing. But once I hired her, she took care of it, and at first I was kind of disgruntled about the whole thing until she did the second part of the paperwork to send off as a packet to Madagascar, so my fiance could then take that stuff to the interview. And she did all the work. I didn't have to touch anything. And once I finished going through that documentation and deleting some of the more personal information, I will post how you do that as well later on. But the K1 visa, I think, is still the best visa, because if you're looking to bring your wife here to the United States, don't marry her there, marry her here. And with a K1 visa, you could file a K3 if you already have kids with her, or if she have kids. And I'm assuming with kids, it will still be just as easy to bring them along with her when she's coming. As long as all the documentation is correct, there is typically no issue with it. I cannot speak for the spousal visa. I have friends here, and my mom has had friends here who married their wives in their home country, and in parts of Africa, not necessarily in Madagascar, but in other parts of Africa. And it took 10 years or so for the wife to get here. Some of them end up having to build houses over there. Their kids was able to come to the United States long before their wives were able to come. So I can't really advise you on which one is going to be the best for you. If you're already married, well, you have no choice. In my case, I wasn't married. I was advised up front to do the K1 visa. That's what I stuck with, and that worked for me. If you have any questions, ask it in the comments section. Like, subscribe, spread the video, see if it helps somebody else. I did the K1 visa. It worked fantastically for me, and I have no regrets with it. Y'all have a good day.